There you go. I've changed up naming game. Now when you use it, you have to tell me what name you want. You're welcome, chat. Long live Belial II. Right, let's go back over to setup and continue construction. Could someone please deconstruct this? Priority 8. And this can now have everything on a priority 1. Belial, ahem! Now I know I can't find what I'm looking for. Okay, because of your failure, chat, and then a long pause, and now he has finally found it. For your failure in that it's a mod and not in game, you have to speak in emotes for I feel Belial is using his mod powers exactly as they are meant to be used. Well done, Belial. The correct way to use emote only mode. Now, because this area is going to be significantly cooler than other parts of the base, we will double insulate it. Though that being said, I am thinking that we are going to want... Well, actually, I'm going to take this side away because I'm still thinking that I might want to create a dedicated cooling system just for this. I really think that might be a wise idea. The true. Okay, well, what I can do for the power cable down here, though, is I can run this... What's it currently made of? Copper, okay. We're going to run this all the way down, connect it over there into the main system, the main trunk. Means I need to deconstruct you and you to allow for it. Then I can strip all that wire up. I love how Jake spent 15,000 dabber ducats and Belial is still disappointed at him. My lord. Some ice, sure. I accept ice. Print. Where am I storing my ice? That's a really good point. Where am I storing my ice? Am I storing ice? Do I have a place for ice? Is this my ice? No, that's my fertilizer. It's very different. Where's my ice go, though? Huh. My ice does not go down there. This is bleach stone. This is also bleach stone and polluted ice. But where does ice go? I don't have any other bodies of just regular water, I don't think. I mean, I could just put it down here and just let it melt into this. It would very gradually change the temperature, but in no real way. I guess... Store it over there? No, I do not. I am ice storageless. This isn't a good time. I would say putting it in here is probably the right thing to do, but I don't want that to overflow, so... I guess we're just going to put it down here, then. But honestly, that can be either type of ice at that point. There is now, Miss Minnie. Cut that out, Bilal. And all the way down. Tonk. There we go. And let's get all of this sorted out. There we are. Nice. Actually, 1, 2... Ooh, that's a little bit too high. Well, actually, once we've built the room in here, that should be okay. Doesn't Chad know Bilal makes the rules up as he goes? It's one of the few perks of being a mod. Okay, well... Oh, okay, that one's done. So we can now connect over. Sorted. I'm probably going to pump up the priority over here, though. Let's get this built a little bit faster so that I can strip away the cabling in the new living quarters. Well, now that I've offloaded those jangling ducats, simply to tease Bilal a little bit, the eye is off to bed. So I have plenty of energy for my training session in the morning. I'll take care, mate, and enjoy your training, buddy. There we go. Is best moderator getting picked on again? No. Leafin's not even in here right now. I actually can't even say that with a straight face. I literally cannot. That wasn't a laugh because I wanted to laugh. That was a laugh because I was grinning so much at how silly that joke was. With Bilal said right there that I had to laugh to vent some of that. It was like ridiculous overload. How are we doing over here? I think I'm just gonna have to replace this with a vent just to allow the oxygen pressure in here to push out. That being said, I guess we don't actually need to worry about it right now because ultimately we're gonna be switching out to this base anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. Let's see. Oh, wait. I did have Thimble read. Ah, poop. I did have Thimble read all along. I had it in a little temperature-controlled environment. Not that good, though, if I'm honest. It's like at the temp... Well, they go up to 37, so I suppose it does work. How is that controlling this? Ah, okay, so once this gets down below a certain point, it will shut off, so the coolant will bypass this room. Okay. Well, then, given that, I suppose, there's no reason to have these in here, then. I'll leave them there for now, though. We only tease you because we love you, Bilal. Indeed, Potype. Oh, you're on cloud 9 there, by the looks of you. Duplicants is planning to hand out balloons in their downtime. Good, good. What do we have? Leaky oil fisher. I don't need more oil right now. Got plenty of O2 backing up over here. Right now, we're just funneling a chunk of it into the base over here. But we don't really need to do that too much. The rest is being sent up as waste gas. Okay then, chat. We've managed to strip away the solar panel over here. We now need the... I imagine it's going to be under stations. The telescope. Yep. Let's pop you there. I'm also going to need to hook you up to oxygen. Actually, let me cancel that. Damn it. I don't want to use the wrong type of pipe. I want to use the same one. There we go. There we go. That will give us the star map back. Now, I think it's actually time for us to start considering where we're going to be planning out our rocket silo. I think it is time, Chair. It has been a long time coming, but I believe that we now need to set this up. We've got our scanner networks. The scan quality is 33%, which means we've got... It will detect incoming objects 67 seconds to 200 seconds before they arrive, which I think is all we need for these doors. The doors, if powered, can close in that time. In 67 seconds, they can close or they can open, so I think we're all right. Yeah, we got rid of the telescope because I didn't think we needed it anymore, and so I replaced it with solar panels, Belial, but... You needed to be able to look at the star map. I'm fairly certain we've actually seen the entirety of the star system, but yeah, it is what it is. Now then, as for rocketry, we've got gantries, we've got steam engines, we've got command capsules, and we've got research modules. We need to start doing some stuffs with this. Now, I'm kind of thinking that if we isolate this area and start building the silo downward, that would be the right way to go. Allow our peeps across. They can then head into the rocket capsule, either from down here or down here, for example. But this is going to require steel, and a lot of it. How much steel do I have? I've got 5.6 tons. I imagine that's going to be enough. The bunker doors cost me quite a lot to build. How wide is rocketry? Oh, my lord. He chunky. He very chunky. Okay, so I'm going to say... If I pop that there, just for the second so I can measure this out. Yeah. Whew. We'd have clearance on one side. Okay. Yeah, I've had a little bit of issues with Chromecast as well. Sadly, I got a Samsung Smart TV and they don't have a Twitch app, which honestly kind of annoyed me. If I'm perfectly honest about this, I was a little bit vexed by the fact that Samsung Smart TV does not have a Twitch app. I was like, oh, really? But that's kind of like the whole point. The scene in Galaxy Quest when they just scrape the hangar. Wow. Rubber Monkey. You get several internet points for invoking Galaxy Quest. Several. Oh, no, really? Is the gantry going to be too wide? Alright. I think we need to build this around the idea of the gantry. Can I... Can you... Uh-oh. Don't be there. Uh-oh. Why? Why will you not go? I don't want to make you anymore. Go away. Uh-oh. Much sadness. But the command capsule, I'm guessing, would need to sit here. Well, actually, that's kind of in... I don't know. How does this work? Will this melt... Can this pass the gantry? I guess we're going to just have to find out. Yeah, it gets rid of everything but this. That's not great. Yeah, photons okay. I realized that the engine needs to be behind the command capsule. What I've been trying to do is cancel this so I can move it around, because I only placed it down in order to measure out the size of the aperture that I would need. However, one of my concerns is how it interacts with the gantry, because the gantry is how you get in and out of a command capsule. Now, what I would like is for the gantry to exist here. But yes, you also broke the game, I think. Great. I'm so happy. Right, well, I'm going to let people get up here first and see if we can't dig through. In fact, I'm going to pop this up in priority. Let's get all of this done in a higher priority. Just dig through it. Do your thing. The gantry can be pushed over a square. How do you mean? Like, I'm assuming the gantry would have to exist here. And that's just the way that that's going to be. I don't know, though, obviously. That's the point. But from what I understand, this part will retract when it's sent a signal. I'm deep into territory that I've never been in before. Because it extends, retracts. Oh dear. You have done a silly, haven't you? Yes, yes, you have. You have done a great silly. I may have done something awful. And that now needs to be priority 9. Either that or this. But either way... Oh dear. Cancel that now? No, I cannot. Use the gantry as a steel floor. I mean, the gantry is basically a way for you to get into the command capsule, from what I understand. It's basically a retractable floor that lets a duplicant in the spacesuit climb into the command capsule. Or am I incorrect in that? Hey, oh, hi, Kaiser. What you mean is you need the gantry over one so it gives enough clearance for the rocket. That is literally what I was asking for Tina Decay. How does this section of the gantry interact with the rocket? So another way you could put it is the rocket needs to be over one. Does that make sense? But either way, you've answered the question I had. Thank you very much. At this rate, I may as well just try and get you down here. I'm somewhat concerned that you're in danger, so move over there, and now I would like you to dig that out. I would like you to dig that out. There we go. Now you can't get back over there, and now just dig your way down. Oh, the space I can expand into. That's not an issue. So if this moves over by 1, that means I need to have 3 doors to have a rocket silo. Duly noted. Well, that being said, actually, I guess I don't technically need that wall. Well, I will need it down here, but for now, it's going to be okay, I think. I mean, all of that's relatively cleared out. I need... Well, that's fine. That's going to fill with liquid. So that is basically a liquid lock. This will never be an issue. But over here, I do need this area to allow people to go through. I can now deconstruct this because we've got enough wall there. Once that's built... Well, in fact, now that that's there, I can seal that off. I'll also need to keep the doors clean. Yeah, what I'm likely going to do is have, when these open, any regolith that's up there will fall down. So towards the bottom of the area, wherever I set things up, I will pop a robo-miner. Oh, you're quite right. I still actually only need 2 doors. That's a very good point. I just need to start the door there. Very, very good point. Well spotted there. Thank you very much for that. On the inside, I'll just build a temporary ladder up to help build this. I really would like this to go, though. Because it's going to be built a load of steel that I don't want to use. Okay, let me quickly drop a save. Auto miners can cover 3 doors of space, yes. Because we're doing it here, for example. Well, with one little bit on the side, but they overlap in the middle by quite a lot, so they can absolutely cover 3 doors of space. 100%. Right, yeah, turn her off and back on again. Exactly. The best way of solving anything like this ever. Let's go ahead and completely quit out the desktop though. Give me just a second to get it launched again. Will the rocket clip the block on the left? We'll find out. I'm not sure how all rockets work, so... This is very much a learning. We are deep into unknown territory for me. You're gonna have all kinds of fun retracting the gantries. Oh, really? Is that kind of like fun with exclamation marks around the side, or actual fun? Now, for our first ship, how big of a ship should I try and make? Should I just go for the smallest possible ship that I can make just to start getting some stuff happening? Right, can I cancel that? No. Well, I guess this lives here now. Damn it. But if we had the... well, I guess I could have the gantries kind of centered if I really wanted to, but... I'm guessing we would need it one more across, so that would be there. So what would be underneath? A research module? So something like that, I suppose? The problem is I'm kind of worried about putting this down now. Yeah. So, research module there, I suppose. Pomp. Command capsule above it, pomp. And the steam engine. 2,000 steel! Why? Got a lot of things to build. Let's get some of them on a bit of a higher priority. Because I do want that set up. Over here, though, we're going to have this on a 6. The whole of it, if we can. Now, we are also going to want... I'm going to say manual airlocks are good enough, but it might have to deal with incredibly high temperatures. Still, I don't actually think we need to worry about it. Do airlocks ever actually break down if they're made of... Like, I can't imagine we do. They don't have an overheat temperature, so I don't think we need to use steel for them. To that end, let's break this one down and replace it with copper. We've got steel over there. Yeah, we've got this one with steel as well. Let's break them all down. Chop, chop. Where'd you get 2,000 steel? Well, that's the thing. Slowly, over a lot of time. So the fact that I'm going to use it up on something that I don't want is painful. I've got a lot of steel constructions around the place, though, that I could happily tear down. I use steel in a lot of things that don't need it. For example, realistically, I wonder if this needs it even. It should never get to those sorts of temperatures. I could probably rebuild this out of copper. Yeah, let's rebuild that out of copper. That door's gone, good. That does need to be a rather quick rebuild, because right now a lot of the gas is going the wrong way. Same over here. Quick rebuilds. Priority 8. Gold amalgam, gold amalgam. Gold amalgam, gold amalgam. There we are. Everything looks alright. How are you cooling your colony? My biggest issue in this game has been slowly cooking my colony. Using steam generators is probably the main way that I do it. But until I had those, very aggressively relying on glaciers. Eventually I tapped into the frozen coal, but that was a relatively new thing. We already had steam generators by then. Oh, the volcano's gone off. Nice. Okay, very good. Let's have a look in there. So this is moving around at 160. It will get dumped out when it's below 130. So these are going to be running for a while, dumping extra energy onto the system. It is gradually generating a bit more igneous rock here. We've got 6.9 tons of igneous rock at 1,290... sorry, it's 79 and dropping temperature. The igneous rock that's moving along the rail system has lost a lot of its heat already, but this is a lot of igneous rock there. Is there a way to use debug tool to cancel it? It's fine. I'll let it get built and then I'll just break it down. I'll get a decent amount of the material back, I'm sure. See, they're almost done. Let's get you deconstructed at a priority 9, please, and indeed thanks. But while that's happening... Okay, entry point is on that side. Alright, duly noted. Okay, so now we've got that. What I would need is a command capsule. That's only 200, so I'd pop it there, I suppose. Then the bottom would live down here somewhere, but we're going to have to get a lot of it. Actually, I can't. Damn it. Okay. I need a way in down here for now. I need to be able to sweep all of this up. I would like to get the bunker doors in place first, though, but we'll see how that one goes. Now, I guess one of the problems here is that I'm going to have a system that gives priority to opening these doors when I want to launch a rocket. But other than that, still respects the state of openness based on the automation over here. Wonder how I'm going to set that up. Probably get a little bit of circuitry over here. Can you explain how you tame a volcano? By all means. By all means. We'll use the copper volcano as an example, because that one's arguably more useful. Okay, so... let's pause it for a second. Oh, actually, we'll pop it down to slow speed just so I can show. So, what happens in here is I'm using steam and the heat deletion properties of a steam turbine to cool the output of the volcano. The copper coming out of here is 2,226.9 degrees when it comes out, but the steam in here is keeping the temperature relatively low. It's at 197 degrees. Well, I mean relative to the temperature that it comes out at. The way I set this up is I popped down a load of metal in there to begin with, and the steam turbines. These are the key to this, because the way steam turbines work is they take the any kind of steam, whatever temperature it is, and then it outputs it as 95 degree water, so just under boiling temperature. The heat that is represented in that is released into the area around the steam turbine. So this place is getting slowly warm, but because it's a massive atmosphere, honestly, and we're getting a lot of cooling from over here at the frozen core, it's never going to get to the point that these break as a result. But what happens is, if we bring up the liquid display, that liquid is reintroduced into the system. So it's taking like 200 degrees worth of steam and giving back 95 degree water, which then needs to be heated up again. So it leaches more heat out of the copper and then turns back into steam, goes back up, comes back as 95 degree water, and the cycle continues. It's taking the heat out of the system and transplanting it into the atmosphere around here. Now, normally you might need to cool that in some way, but right now we're not having to struggle with that too much. But I will show you an example of where that is the case, just so it's as complete an example as possible. But the water comes back in. I've got various sensors set to try and manage what's going on in here. If there's too much steam or if there's too little water, things like that, it lets more water in or siphons out some of the steam by venting it. This, for example, is hooked up to a little bit of automation here, or rather a lot of automation here. If there's any element other than steam in there, it vents it out. Honestly, this hasn't been used for a very long time. This was just to clean out this area a long time ago. This checks the temperature of the area in here. If the temperature in this room goes above 205 degrees, then there's a problem because it shouldn't ever go above 200. So in that case, I bring more water in to try and aggressively cool it down. The other one is if there's any liquid here at all, well, there's already liquid water. So that means I haven't pulled out as much heat as I can yet. I've still got a means to siphon out that heat. So this kind of blocks this from letting more in. But effectively, if these are true, then this gets fed in a little bit more water. The steam generator turns on when the temperature of the steam is above a certain point. In this case, if the steam temperature is above 200, turns it on, and if it drops below 125, it turns it off. So ideally, I get the maximum bang for buck, because the temperature of the steam dictates how much energy the steam generator will produce. It can produce energy from any temperature of steam. Obviously, it has to be above 100 degrees, but in this 102, but 100 degrees realistically. But the closer to 200 degrees it is, the more power you get out of it. So this tries to maximize the power. Over here, what happens is once there's copper in here, it very quickly cools to the point that it solidifies just because of the steam, because it's dumping all of that heat into this, and once that liquid copper gets to cool enough, which it doesn't take long, it turns into solid copper, and then my auto sweeper loads it up onto this conveyor rail. And as it's moving around in here, like I've got tiny amounts in here, like micrograms worth of copper, that will gradually filter through the system and just keep going around, shedding heat, so on and so forth. But if it gets to a temperature of less than 200 degrees, well, once the temperature of the copper that's on this rail is below 200 degrees, I'm actually having to put energy into the copper that's on the rail. I want to get rid of it once it's below 200 degrees because that's how hot I want the steam to be. So I dump it out through here, and I dump it into a vat of oil that's just down here. Now you might notice I've got a cooling loop that's running through this area. It's not a very, very powerful cooling loop. It comes in at 34 degrees, it goes back out at 38 degrees, but it's enough. This oil would need to get very, very hot to turn into petroleum and then turn into sour gas. So 200 degree copper doesn't get anywhere near that. And besides, I'm cooling it actively anyway. And then I'm also applying a little bit of cooling to the steam generator. So this whole system is taming the copper volcano, and it's making its output useful rather than a detriment. The heat is being used by me. This one over here has got a similar system going for it. We've got the cooling loop coming through here, helping to cool down this room. Now, this room is much more isolated, and so it's a little bit more necessary because it doesn't have the whole atmosphere to use. But I don't want to dump this heat out into the frozen core because it'll melt the frozen core faster, and I'm kind of making use of the core at the moment. It's an important part to my system. But that's the general gist of it. Over here, I'm not going for maximal power. I'm trying to cool down the igneous rock below 130 degrees. Once this drops below 130, it gets dumped out and into the water down here, which does, unfortunately, affect the frozen core, but it's going to take a long time before that's a problem that I need to deal with. I hope that answered your question, though. But if you have any further question, or if there's anything that's kind of that isn't clear, just let me know, and I will do my best to answer it. How are the duplicants working out there? Doing all right, Fuzzy Chimp? Thank you for asking. This is the future. We don't need thermodynamics. I'm not sure if it's this colony or the Rimworld colony where you milked and weaponized tame boomalopes. Has been my favorite to watch. Well, I mean, yeah, milking the boomalopes for the chem fuel to turn into mortar shells. That was a special kind of awesome. I will confess. But before you get steel or plastic, it can be quite difficult to set up a really efficient cooling loop, because the temperature. The temperature profile of the material you build things out of really does affect it. Steel gives things a very high overheat temperature, so they can work at much, much higher temperatures, and it's very important for the general design of your base. Very important indeed. Have we got only a thimble reed? Yeah, we do. Excellent. Let's get some more carpet laid down then. There we go. Sorted. Right. Now, we've got some new printables. Let's see what we got. We're not printing any items. I'll take some more dirt. Sure, I'll take 0.5 tons of dirt. But we're not making more duplicants until I've got a new place for them to live in, basically. I'm going to leave these as closed for now. I don't want to open those. Thing is, I could have this just built over there. Just that I have them crossing. So that if I wanted to, someone could just move from one side to the other. I kind of like that idea. Even though this is a rather expensive thing to build. But I do like it. Sure, let's get that going. That needs to be broken down like super fast, please and thank you, my lord. Now, I'm assuming that we're going to need... Right, the first thing is these bunker tiles mean that these two tiles on either side will never get anything dropped on them. So they are now completely safe for me to put a robo miner on. Which is good. We're going to need it. But getting all that steel together is going to be a big issue. Once you can get through there, it'll give us access to the steel. You can't retract both gantries at the same time, really? Well, that's kind of annoying, because that's what I was planning on doing. Really? Huh. Power requirements for the gantries. Okay, that's a good point. I wasn't looking at that. 1.2 kilowatts, okay. Rather expensive, but... Our power in this place is a lot. We are generating a lot of power. Where's my... there's the report. Work time, travel time, doesn't actually... Power usage, power wasted. I mean, we're actually keeping the batteries... like, a lot of the waste is just random odds and sods. We actually use batteries to regulate how much power we generate. But we've got a lot of power potential here. I don't think we're going to worry about it. A low overloaded conductive wire. Not a big amount of energy consumption, though. I mean, wires-wise, I just have two separate ones. So I basically just have two transformers, one for one side, one for the other. That shouldn't be a problem. I can easily have... Though I'm going to need a atmospherically controlled area to have the generators in. Elsewise, I won't be able to cool them down, and I do need to cool them down. That said... The engine of a rocket must be first built before more rocket modules may be added. Oh. Did I need to build this first? Oop. That text is old. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I was about to be very sad. My sadness was about to be extremely high. Very high levels of sad. It wasn't going to be nice. Like ugly crying levels of sad. That's what we were about to look at. Got broken there. Definitely need this broken down. Okay, there are a few things that we're going to need then. First and foremost, if I have this rocket silo open to the vacuum of space, then the exhaust from the engine itself will leave. It'll be dumped into the vacuum of space. However, while it's there, it will be steam. I'm assuming that the steam will just be whatever temperature the steam was when it went in. So that steam will get... that steam will just be like, no more than 200 degrees, let's say. Let's say it won't be hotter than 200 degrees. That means it would actively cool components in its area. What's the slime-looking stuff on the left? This? Melting ice. Some of it's polluted ice, though. But yeah, it's melting.